She cheated, thinking I loved her too much to leave. Now she's begging me not to cancel the wedding, but it's already over. Hello Reddit I+ here. My name's Nathan Cole. I'm 32, a senior architect, and until 2 nights ago, I was set to marry the woman I thought was the love of my life. Her name was Lena Rivers, 29, beautiful, charismatic, and apparently a professional manipulator. We were 3 weeks away from the wedding. Invitations were sent. The venue was paid for. Dress tailored. My mom had already started writing her speech, and then I got the video. It was about 11:45 p.m. I had just come home from a brutal shift on site. I was exhausted, fresh out of the shower, lying on my back, eyes about to close, when my phone vibrated. It was from Sienna, Lena's best friend. The video opened with music blaring. It looked like a house party. At first, I didn't even recognize Lena. She was in some sparkly black dress, moving like she didn't have a care in the world. Then I realized she wasn't dancing with one guy. She was moving from guy to guy, arms wrapped around necks, grinding, laughing, making out. By the end of the clip, 2 guys whisked her off toward a back room while the rest of the party whooped and clapped like it was a damn performance. 1 minute, 60 seconds. That's all it took to gut me, and it was recorded by her friends. I just lay there. My chest got hot. My palms started sweating again, like I hadn't just taken a cold shower. The room went quiet except for my heartbeat. I wasn't even angry yet. My brain was still playing catch-up. What the hell had I just watched? And why the hell would Sienna send it? That's when she called. I almost didn't answer. She said, "Nathan, don't lose it. I'm on my way. Please just open the door when I knock." I didn't know what to think. Sienna had been Lena's closest friend since college. She was even supposed to be her maid of honor. If she came here to defend her, I swear, I might have snapped. Not physically, I'm not that guy. But I probably would have yelled so loud the neighbors called the cops. But when I opened the door, she looked like she hadn't slept either. She came in quietly and sat next to me on the couch like we'd done this 100 times. She opened her phone and said, "You need to see everything. Photos, screenshots, group chats, voice notes." Lena had been cheating for months. And her friends? They encouraged it. They even had a stupid nickname for me, the Loyal Knight. Apparently, they thought I loved her so much, I'd never leave, that she could get all her fun out now, before she settled down. The worst part? They laughed about it, mocked me, called me a placeholder. I sat there, stunned. I asked Sienna why she was showing me this. Was this some kind of test? Did they want to see if I'd still marry Lena even after all this? She shook her head hard. I'm done with them too. I asked her why, and that's when the real story came out. Turns out Lena had hit on Sienna's boyfriend, James, and not just flirted. She messaged him, telling him to come to the party without Sienna because she'd kill the vibe. Sienna had found the messages by accident. She confronted James, and instead of denying it, he admitted everything. He told her Lena had been pushy for weeks, so Sienna did what no one expected. She went to the party. She saw everything firsthand. She recorded the video. And when she saw Lena kiss her boyfriend and head off to the room with him, she snapped. "I didn't agree with any of what they were doing," she said, crying now. "But I stayed quiet. I told myself it wasn't my business. But last night, I realized they never respected me either. I don't remember moving, but the next thing I knew, I was hugging her. We both just broke down right there. 2 broken people wrapped around each other, crying like kids. 30 minutes, maybe more. We didn't speak. Just let the weight of betrayal sink in. When we finally pulled apart, our eyes red and swollen, Sienna looked at me and said, "What do you want to do?" I said I didn't know. She said, "What if we expose them? All of them. Post the video, the texts, the proof, on the wedding Facebook page. Tag everyone." I almost laughed. It was chaotic, but it was tempting. Unfortunately, I wasn't the admin. Lena was. I thought of a plan B. What if we wait till the wedding day and show everything on a projector? You know, one of those viral revenge wedding clips. Sienna looked at me like I was losing it, then she softened. "Or, you could just cancel now and save yourself. You can still recover the money." She was right. I had already lost so much. Why lose more? We stayed up the rest of the night calling vendors, canceling contracts, calling my parents, calling hers. I managed to recover about 60% of the money. Some vendors waived fees after hearing what happened. Sympathy is powerful. The sun hadn't even risen yet. Sienna didn't want to go back to her apartment. James was still there. I didn't want to be around when Lena came home. So I made an impulsive choice. I booked a week-long cabin in the mountains. Told her she could come if she wanted. She said yes. We leave in 3 hours. I don't know what comes next. I don't know if I'll ever trust again, but I know this much. I loved Lena enough to marry her, but I respect myself enough not to, and that makes all the difference. The drive to the cabin was quiet, not uncomfortable, but quiet, like two people carrying too much in their heads to speak. Sienna dozed off about an hour into the drive, her head against the passenger window, arms folded tight across her chest, like she was still bracing for impact. I kept my eyes on the road, watching the city melt into trees, noise give way to silence, and for the first time in days, my heartbeat slowed. The cabin sat on the edge of a lake. It wasn't fancy, just quiet, with pine trees all around and no Wi-Fi signal, something I didn't realize I desperately needed until I didn't have it. It was just the two of us, some food, a fireplace, and the sound of water lapping against the rocks. That first day we barely spoke. We each took our own space. She curled up with a blanket on the couch, staring into the fire, and I walked down to the dock just to stare at the lake. I remember tossing a rock into the water and thinking, what the hell was I doing? Why did I let her come? But then I remembered the look on her face last night. The same mix of disbelief and heartbreak I saw in the mirror. I hadn't brought her to escape her problems. I brought her because she was the only person who knew exactly how mine felt. That night we sat outside under the stars, sharing whiskey from a bottle she found in a cupboard, and we started to talk, not about Lena, not about James, but about ourselves. Turns out Sienna was more than just Lena's best friend. They had been college roommates, sure, but she had always been the outsider in their circle. The grounded one, the boring one, the one with values. They only kept me around because I knew when to keep secrets, she said, voice low. But eventually, they forgot I had a conscience. She paused. I knew what Lena was doing to you. I just didn't want to get involved. That's my biggest regret. I told her I didn't blame her, not entirely. We all make compromises for people we care about, even when they don't deserve it. She looked at me with red eyes. Is that what you did with Lena? I nodded. I think I was in love with who she pretended to be, not who she really was. We sat in silence for a while after that. But that night, something shifted. 3 days into our stay, it happened. Lena showed up at the cabin. Not in person, but through Sienna's phone. She had apparently tried calling me dozens of times. I had blocked her number. Same with social media. But Sienna hadn't. Lena left her a voicemail. Her voice was frantic, unhinged, crying in some parts, furious in others. She knew the wedding was canceled. Knew people were asking questions. Some of the vendors must have talked. One of her friends had already confronted her. Her perfect little web of lies was unraveling. You don't get to ruin my life because you got your feelings hurt, she screamed on the recording. Nathan's too soft to go through with it. He'll forgive me. He always does. I remember laughing bitterly at that line. Too soft? I had just torn down the life I was building for someone I loved. That wasn't soft. That was survival. Then the voicemail took a turn. And if you're with him, Sienna, I swear to God, I'll burn everything down. Don't think I don't know what you're doing. There was silence after it ended. And then, for the first time since we got there, Sienna looked scared. Do you think she'll actually show up? She asked. I didn't have to answer. Because the next morning, her car was spotted in the town 15 minutes away. She was looking for us. I made the call. I called a friend of mine from the city, Ben. He's a former Marine turned private security consultant. He owed me a favor. He drove up that night, stayed nearby, just in case Lena tried anything crazy. But she never found us, because Sienna posted the video. Not on the wedding page, but on her own profile, with a caption, "Some truths deserve to be seen. If you mock love, you don't get to fake it later." It spread faster than I expected. Hundreds of shares. People commenting, some defending Lena, others disgusted. But the damage was done. Lena's social image? Destroyed. The wedding? Officially off the radar. Her carefully curated life? Cracked wide open. She texted me once from a new number. I made a mistake. You're the only one who ever loved me for real. I left it on red. It's been 12 months. The wedding never happened. The Facebook page is gone. Lena moved to another state last I heard. Burned too many bridges here. As for Sienna and me, we never planned for anything. But she stayed in my life. And slowly, gently, became part of it. We took our time. No labels, just healing. Funny thing is, when you finally stop chasing people who love the idea of you, you make room for someone who actually sees you. It's not perfect, but it's real. And after everything, that's more than enough.